Coffee Pot Conversations.
Bonjour et bienvenue to Coffee Pot Conversations, the podcast that gives you something a little bit different of Paris. My name is Paul, and I'm here to help you experience the city like a visitor, not a tourist. So, grab yourself a coffee, settle in, let's discover Paris together.
Coming up on Coffee Pot Conversations.
Hello, and welcome to Coffee Pot Conversations. Yes, this is episode 3.7, as you've seen by the rolling screen, and you also know it's a podcast, Coffee Pot Conversations, by the little walks through the forest. So, what are we doing on today's episode? Today's episode sees us walking from Avenue Ledru-Rollin across Rue de Faubourg Saint-Antoine, taking a couple of streets, and we end up at Bastille. That's it. That's today's episode. Not very long, this one, because I'm actually now deciding I'm going to try and squeeze as much in as I can up until the best bits, which is episode 3.10. And then season 4 will more than likely be another 9 episodes of this overnight trip in Paris, which was November 2024. I've then got 2 days, 3 days, 2 nights, which took place February 2025. This should come up in the coming up section, but I'm just letting you know now because I'm talking as I can. So let's get straight to the news. What news do we have? I'm going to keep this short and sweet because I have tended to give loads of different news or irrelevant news. So pretty much quickly, Le Pen, the French far-right leader, Marine Le Pen, she was given a guilty verdict in her embezzlement case trial on March the 31st in Paris. So she's now been given a 5-year ban from public office, and it could fuel anti-establishment anger in France and deepen instability within Prime Minister François Bayrou's already fragile government. That's politics. Pretty much, they're saying that she's blocked. So it's a bit of a hoo-ha with the whole political front, which we know how much I love and enjoy politics, be it French, UK, America, or elsewhere. Moving away from Marine Le Pen, we do have the Switch 2 console. It was previewed in the Grand Palais, which is very nice. And ums and ahs, the price has well escalated beyond irreparable damage. But the controllers do look quite nice. They're magnetic rather than sliding on. I don't know if that's a positive or a negative, but we all have a bit of magnets, as can be seen by Apple's MagSafe technology, which is magnets. Queen Mary. Yeah, Queen Mary of Denmark. She visited France, popped into Paris, and on a school visit with Brigitte Macron, who we know used to be a drama teacher, the Danish Queen tackled the issue of bullying, which she didn't really tackle it as such, but it's to help promote bullying, which is nice because no one deserves to be bullied. We don't like it. So what did she do? Well, she visited École Maternelle de Sourbe to meet with primary school children, and the school in the second arrondissement has joined the anti-bullying program Free of Bullying that was set up by Queen Mary of Denmark's foundation. It's known in France as Vivre Ensemble, and it's been implemented in nearly 20 schools across Paris. Within the Danish state visit, because the king was there as well, bless him, they went to a state dinner at the Élysée Palace. Palace Élysée? Alice Palace? Alice Palace. Alice Palace. Alice in Wonderland. I went to the Alice Palace, visited Notre Dame, and had a demonstration of tapestry cutting at the Manufacture des Gobelins, which is down in the 13th. And I went, stayed in that area with Nev when I was doing my first Paris marathon. Oh, I'm going to leave that one till the end because that's quite exciting. All right, I'll do this one. A Pokemon store in Paris. It's the first permanent store dedicated to Pokemon, Le Coin de Baron store, located on Rue de Rivoli, in the first arrondissement, has a unique corner for collectors and enthusiasts alike. It had a pop-up store at BHV in the Marais, and it's now the first permanent Pokemon corner in an independent boutique. It's in the heart of the 4th arrondissement, And apparently, the ambience is carefully designed, blending the codes of the franchise with a typically Parisian charm. Stained glass windows with Pikachu motifs, Art Deco walls, lampposts and shelves inspired by the banks of the Seine. So, question for you guys, how'd you get Pikachu on the metro? That's right, Pokemon. I'm just going to come back to this article in a second, because the one that I did miss out was, again, to do with the shop. Printemps, that's next to Galeries Lafayette, that big springtime shop. It's opened up a stunning US store in New York City. It's located at 1 Wall Street and spans 55,000 square feet over 2 floors. And it apparently blurs the lines between retail and hospitality. I'm going to be honest, didn't really like Printemps when I went a few years back. It wasn't my favourite. Galeries Lafayette to me is a department store. Printemps just felt, I don't know, just felt like I know it isn't, but it felt like a cheap copy. There's another shop tucked around the corner from those two. So if you're walking from Galeries Lafayette to Printemps and turn right, there's a little church on the left, but there's another little department store, which just felt slightly more down to earth, but equally as expensive. And that is where I nearly got run over by the 7-foot man as we were leaving the building. My final piece of news, I've been informed that the Cathedral Basilica of Saint-Denis, which is just outside of Paris, is having restoration works. The historic site, known as the Necropolis of French Kings, is undergoing a major reconstruction project. I did visit sort of the outside-ish of this during my trip to Saint-Denis with the boys and Nev for the Olympics. And pretty much you're just going to look at rebuilding the north tower of the facade and the spire, which were both destroyed in the 19th century. And on March the 14th, so a little bit late with this news, sorry guys, the French Minister of Culture, where you know the name, Rachida Dati, symbolically laid the foundation stone for the work, together with local mayor and Bishop Etienne Grillier of Saint-Denis. The work had been considered over the past 40 years, but until now had been continually postponed. They reckon the reconstruction project will last until 2029, which when you think about it is a lot of work, although it's only 4 years, 1920, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's about the same time as Notre Dame. They're not obviously smashing it out the whole lot. 43 kings and 32 queens, as well as other important figures from the era of monarchical France. What a word that is, monarchical. And they were buried there from the Middle Ages until the 19th century. I'm not going to talk about anything else to do with that because that's for a later, possibly a later episode. I might take a day trip to Saint-Denis, you never know. Have a little proper visit. It was shut when we went there. It wasn't shut. The area was closed for the whole Olympics games. They had certain access, which we didn't do. I think it was free, but we didn't know and didn't speak enough French to go, hey, can we get in, Governor? So instead we went to a little museum just tucked about the outside, which I think I have mentioned in episode 2.3 or 2.4, Paris Olympics, part 1 or part 2. I believe it would have been part 1 because that's when I was giving my explanation of the Paris Olympics as opposed to the global explanation of the Paris Olympics. So I'm going to hedge my bets with episode 2.3, Paris Olympics 2024, part 1. So that's going to be the news for now because, yeah, it is a little bit of a shorter episode. We're looking probably 35 minutes worth of material. Enjoy the walk. For those of you not paying attention because you're just listening, you're wondering what we're going to be looking at, please pop onto YouTube or Spotify and play the videos. Up to you. I'm not forcing you to change your platform of choice. You can listen to it, but you're not going to have the visuals that I've gone through the painstaking efforts of trying to edit, which is another issue. My editing platform have started to charge astronomically for the work that I do. So I'm going to try a few shonky bits and maybe, just maybe, I will have to move editing platforms, which I keep saying isn't a problem. It isn't. I've learned the basics. The format may end up swapping. What I may do is try and get through 2 more episodes after this with this particular program, and then just season 4 shift it to the other one. It's never easy. Anyway, Rory, over to you.
Coffee Pot Conversations.
c'est un soudeur. Elle est chère, ouais.
Oh wow, I know exactly where I am. I didn't think I'd be seeing this on this trip. So I don't remember if it was in the blog or the podcast when I mentioned looking for bags for Nev and Sakodos, but it was at Monoprix. Now if we have a look, 10 past 10.
Attends, il y a une...
Now, friend of the show Frankie did ask to see my favourite cake or boulangerie. But where I'm going to go, I don't think does my cake. But it is a coffee shop, which isn't a boulangerie. But I'm going to walk there because it does have a little bit of meaning for me. And we shall see it upon my arrival, if I remember whether it's the left or the right. But we'll get there in a second. Yeah, left or right. Whoosh. It's to the right. I remember now. Or was it left? Ooh, it's alright, it was to the left. And this one here. I've just seen it. Rue de Prague. Let's have a quick check. Little name check. Rue de Prague. Be interesting to see if the hyperlapse picked up the street name. Probably be like the second gone Bosch. I do need the lavatory again, huh? Probably could have downed about a litre of peach iced tea. And the cold hit me. What I should do is I should show that I am checking the roads as I cross. Yeah, unlike London. Now I do it all the time. That wasn't very exciting doorway. Quick check here, look. No, wrong one. See that? British shoes. Not sure I've actually ever seen it open. Magic Carpet Cafe. Just straight down there is a market. So that was a cafe where I first met Oliver G, and that was a cafe where I then went and got signed and slightly personalised. Don't know if that's the right way of putting it, but it was books about the animal games in Paris, coinciding with the Olympics. So Oliver G wrote it, his wife Lena Norden G illustrated it. She does amazing illustrations, and in the back is was at the front, I need to check when I go back, but somewhere is a map with street names, and I managed to get my name, well, Dribel's put in there, so that's quite exciting. I enjoyed that. And the Paris underground car parks. Now at some point I will need to just have a quick look at that. Look at that. It's nice, isn't it? But yeah, I will need to visit the lavatory. I can just imagine how that podcast is going to be. It's like, for those not watching the video, it's like every 2 seconds where I've spliced it, it's like, need the toilet, gotta go pee, need urination. So we are at Rue Abel, the viaduct. And from memory, I need to turn to the right. That's probably to the left, but we turn to the right. I'm trying to picture the map in my head. I've really missed Bastille. I think that roundabout with McDonald's ages ago should have been the one that I took. Not to worry. Anyway, see these, I've run down this road to Paris Marathon, but these, I believe, the old railway arches, where each one is a different workshop or atelier. How cool is that? There's handbags and something else. And then there's something with some bits. Oh, it looks like table football. And this is a bar. I don't know. Gamel. I've heard of that. Gamel. Unless it's a metro station. Right, so the road sign just ahead says Bastille straight on, which is good. Oh dear, you know I love my little play on words. Je ne veux pas traverser. Yeah, I know. It's only funny if you know the song and you can understand me. Poor French pronunciations. Now I believe above this archway is the little green walk. They converted the railway bridge, or the aqueduct. They called it aqueduct, I think that's a down bit, and the above bit was a railway bridge. But they've converted that into a nice little green walkway. A little look at these shops again. This is Malheur Kent. You're probably getting so much reflection off the back. Confiture Parisienne, Paris jam, although it looks like candles. But you should keep an eye on the camera, see where it's pointing. Kind of forget there are people watching or listening. Not that listening's matter, but definitely those that are watching. I can hear on the bottom of my right hill, it's almost like I've got a stone stuck. Yourself and just go as I'm walking past. Right, at some point I will be stopping. And I was asking where Bastille is. Or check my phone to find out where Bastille is. Well, the hyperlapse has just stopped. Could have run out of battery. Which sounds like, for me, a good time to stop this video and check out, see what's happening. I may need to pump a battery into it, I'm not sure yet. Oi. So I will do that, but just before I do, I know the hyperlapse is finished, but just before I do, I'm thinking, and I might be wrong, that these steps in front of me lead up and along and all the way along. Now, as is always the fashion, as I've stopped, checked the camera, yes, it was the battery. I've changed that. I've walked around the corner, got myself out of the way. Not as particularly busy, but I did all that, and I put this camera away that I'm talking to, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna just continue walking just for 3-4 minutes while I'm sorting my stuff out, which is exactly what I did. And typically, right, so look, let me just show you. I walked just from there, just where that person is, I walked all the way down here, all the way along, and look, see what that is there? Yep. Place de Bastille. I believe it might have been here that the finish line was for the half marathon. Or it might have been that one just tucked around the corner there, I'm not too sure. But I definitely ran the half marathon around here. Saw Nev and the boys, they put a temporary bridge up to let people cross the road. You know, I think it was down this road that I ran. It's exciting times, isn't it? And I met him in the toilet. Now, if those toilets, yeah, I'm talking about toilets again. If those toilets were here, I would be so much happier. But this building here, another one. That's what it is. Yep. Rien de Paris. Le National de Paris. Probably made that title up. So now my calculations are well off because I said I was going to go the third one on the right, which we really know it isn't. Oh, look at this. Loved, innit? Right, still in the lavatory. I need to work out where I'm going. So I'm going to run across this road before traffic gets me. There's quite a bit of it. Whee. So I like roads like this. Reason being, you can always tell when it's safe to cross because everyone stops. Green man turns up. There's no like left and rights apart from when you get here. and you get cyclists coming in all directions. So just wait out of politeness. Merci monsieur. Now again, don't really know the rules of zebra crossings à Paris, but hey ho. Right, I'm going to quickly sign off because I want to take one of those amazing photos that are going to be spliced to show a change of direction or just to create a bit of excitement. And for those of you wondering what the photos are, or what they're going to be of the transition bits, it's not a tree, it's in there somewhere. Just the problem, I've got my glass on so I can't actually see the screen. There we go. It's good, isn't it? Look at them, boom. Not that we came to Bastille for the Olympics, but nonetheless. Now, there weren't actually any Olympic events held at Bastille. However, on the 14th of July, I was going to say it in French, but 14 juillet 14, they had the Olympic torch relay in Paris. That was back in 2024. That was 13 days before our arrival for when we watched the Olympics. Don't know how that's working, unless it's busy. Let's have a look. I remember this one, I actually used this. So what we've got there is, we've got a toilet, and that one's free, so the men go and have a little pee-pee. And then in here, this one is a little wave around. So I'm going to quickly shut all these cameras off. Yes, I'm having a wee. That's off, and here we go. A bientôt.
Coffee Pot Conversations.
Now, for those of you not watching, don't worry, you didn't see me go to the toilet. You just saw the toilet that I went to. The little door that opens, it's literally a standing urinal, and the main cabin, if that's the right phrase to use, is just a huge toilet with hand wash basin and hot hair dryer. It's very, I'm not going to say comfortable to use, but it's like the ones you'd expect. They're generally clean them up, but actually updating all the toilets around the Paris area. So that's, I can say, something to look forward to, but you know, if you need it, it's there. And they're free. Can't ask for anything else. Yep, I just wanted to say thank you for watching episode 3.7, a November overnight stay in Paris. We're still going through. For those of you that are watching the video, this is a Monoprix where I went and got some gifts. You can see a little red box of Lindt chocolates there. That was to match a blue box that was given to my uncle for Christmas. And yeah, it's a really nice picture. This is part of the, I suppose, French heritage, Arc de Triomphe scenery that's taking place. You can't go wrong with Lindt chocolates, despite what they say about the lead poisoning. But hey, don't you worry about that. So this is the conclusion part where I would normally give shout outs and birthdays. So birthday, you didn't email me in, did you, Tom? No, but it's Tom's birthday on the 5th of April. So happy birthday, Tom. You don't even need to worry for next year to email it in, mate. But if you want to send me Jenny's birthday at an Englishman in Paris.blog, and I'll fit that in for maybe this year, although possibly not. What I may try and do is put this as a short on my Instagram account at an Englishman in Paris blog, so you can then let me know. And a shout out, just little new fanboy that I've discovered. Rory does rugby, and we went away for their rugby tour. And as I was walking up to have a quick chat with Rory, find out what he was doing for dinner, one of his teammates, Will, was there, and he was talking about me and my name and my connection with France and Paris and stuff. And he said, "Oh, you got a podcast?" And so, and he's after some merch. So when I do see him, I will supply him with 2 special little badges. So that was a shout out to Will, and he didn't email in either. But if he was going to, I suspect he would have emailed shoutout@anenglishmaninparis.blog. Or he may have even messaged me. Well, I don't think he follows me. Don't even know if he's on Instagram. But I know that a few of Rory's teammates are. And just a point of note, Rory got player of the match for the first match on a Saturday against Fordingbridge. Thoroughly well deserved. An amazing first or second touch. He was given the ball front fly half. He's playing inside centre, and he just whapped it straight out to the wing. And Jackson pinged it down, scored. Beautiful. Especially as Rory has been off for about 8-10 weeks with a dodgy injury. Which next time I interview him, we will hopefully talk about that and his progression through his education and what we've been doing. But that's for another time. Now it's time for Jasper's jingle.
Coming up on Coffee Pot Conversations.
We have episode 3.8, surprisingly, a November overnight stay in Paris. Yep, I'll be walking from Bastille to wherever it takes me on my way to the Louvre, then Champs-Elysees, and then onwards from there towards my final destination, which, well, ultimately will be back in London. But before then, obviously, Gare du Nord and the route that I took from Arc de Triomphe back there. Exciting times. And then I've got episode 3.9. The best bits, I'm going to try and mix it up a little bit for this season, which I probably won't reflect back with the clips of the audio and the video. I'm not sure. I still haven't got my head around everything for this season / next season. So I just don't know what. But don't worry, we'll get there. We'll get there together. Let me know what you're thinking. But that's all to come up in this next section, just before Rory finishes off the episode. And now I've just got 10 seconds left walking around Monoprix, so that the next clip is a fresh one for the beginning of episode 3.8. Time for the outro. Thanks for tuning into Coffee Pot Conversations today. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the episode. Also, if you have a story from a past trip, a question about your next one, or something you'd just love to share, send an email to podcast@anenglishmaninparis.blog or message me on Instagram @AnEnglishmanInParisBlog, where you can follow me. Until next time, keep the coffee hot, the pot warm, and the conversation cool.
Coffee Pot Conversations.